Welcome to Watopian Weekly. Welcome. Welcome to Watopian Weekly. Welcome. We're here to talk about Swift Life Beyond. We're here to talk about what's going on. So welcome to Watopian Weekly. Welcome. Welcome to Watopian Weekly, Season 5, Episode 15. We're live and on video. Watopian Weekly is a podcast for Zwifters, cyclists, and everyone else. Each week we're here to discuss all things Zwift, life, and beyond. My name is Dustin, and with me, let's see here. Hold on a second. With me, we have... Here she is, the lady who's proving to her competitors and herself that she's got nothing to prove. Because you know what? She's the boss. The force of nature, pleasing the queen of Iceni with her display of power. You know her, and so do I. Gina! Hey, Gina, how are you?
Nice one. Just to make sure, she's actually the boss here. Yeah.
Yeah, Mimsy's here, huh? That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so cute, so cute. And who's that I see? Whoa, he's back. Dismissing his fear of what he's missing out. He's back in ZRL. Fresh off a wanton display of wattage in the FRR Tour Watopia. Going for FAL, FTS, and effing everything. Josh! Hey, Josh, how are you?
Good, good. These intros are like indistinguishable from AC/DC now.
Well, that's high praise there. That's really nice. That's really nice. So, Zwifters, cyclists, and everyone else. Oh, man, I messed that up. But anyway, here she is, our special guest. Oh, I messed it up. There we go. A lady who doesn't know the word off day unless it means riding a TTT for ZRL because her squad is a shorter rider. Oh, my gosh, what a day today. Oh, my gosh. Someone who eats Watts and oatmeal for breakfast. A rider of horses and mountain bikes. Oh, and who can send it whenever she wants. Smashley! Woo! How you doing, Smashley?
Awesome.
All right, thanks. Oh, I messed that up, man. I even rehearsed and everything. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Well, Smashley's going to be talking about things because she can actually jump. I can't jump, and we're going to be talking about this. And
we're working on jumping. We're letting the wheels leave the ground on purpose this time instead of on accident. So
you mean like bunny hopping?
I cannot bunny hop to save my life. Bike park jumps. I'm just starting to clear some tabletops and maybe actually doing it on purpose, not just because I accidentally came into it with way too much speed and caught there and skipped.
Well, that's where I'm at right there.
With the road bike in the background, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be
actually that bike doesn't even go on the road. That's the designated Zwift bike.
Nice. And oh man, and we're going to be talking about your giant mountain bike adventure that you accidentally went on. So that's awesome. So well, you know what? Welcome everybody. Thank you all for being here. Sorry the intro's got a little bit fuzzy. I've been in this rock and roll mood, man. I've been this new band that I accidentally started. We've been playing a lot, so that's been really good. But which we can talk about that a little bit later too. But anyway, you know. We haven't seen each other for a while. Gina, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Actually, not a lot, because my car, my van has still not been fixed. So I get around a little bit more difficult these days. But also gave me a lot of time to actually focus a bit more on training and stretching and just chilling with Mimsy. So that kitchen has been good. So home renovations is basically except
awesome.
for do you call them plinths as well in English?
Yeah, I think so.
Those wooden thingies that go on the wall between the floor and the wall. Anyway, those still have to go on.
I know what you mean.
Then it's basically done. So
nice. I had a horrible thought today when I was unloading the dishwasher and putting in all of the dishes in the dishwasher, and I'm like holding all these plates with one hand. I'm putting them in the cupboard, and I'm thinking, what would happen if my whole cupboard just fell onto the counter? And anyway, because that's a lot of weight, all those dishes in there.
Thoughts that
was what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that would be just.
I
I mean,
always just trust that somebody actually thought of this, making sure that won't happen if you actually put them on the wall correctly.
Right, yeah, and I mean the house is like
just an excuse for kitchen renovation. If it does
well,
happen. and new dinnerware.
Yes, yeah, it would smash. I'm gonna start putting my phone in a different place to charge though, because I don't want it to smash my phone though. But oh my gosh, that would be horrible. Anyway, I've already dropped enough stuff, which we can talk about that later too when it's my turn. It's not even my turn yet. But well, that's great though, Gina. That's great. All right, Smashley, what have you been doing?
Riding way too many miles sometimes. So FRR Super 6 on Friday, and then I turned around and did a 10-hour mountain bike event yesterday.
Just casually.
I found out about 3 weeks ago I was going to be doing it because my friend had signed up a team and then ended up having to pull out because her kid had a soccer tournament. So she gave me her team entry. So I did it with my dad as a duo. It was super fun. We ended up getting 5th out of 32 teams, which I did not expect at all.
Awesome.
Maybe it made me go a little bit harder on the last lap. Because you have to be in by 5:30, and my dad came in from his lap at 4:23.
Oh man!
And if you aren't in by five, by the time that the clock turns 5:30, if you are not across the timing chip, your last lap will not count.
Oh,
so
man.
I hustled that last lap to get in to make sure I was in by 5:30. So I made it with plenty of time.
What bike did you ride for that?
I have a Live Peak, which is Giant's ladies line is Live. So it's the equivalent of a Live Anthem or a Giant Anthem.
Yeah. So and that's not what you would ride. That's not your bike park bike though. That's not your gravity bike.
My bike park bike is a Rocky Mountain Altitude.
Oh man, sweet. That's
those
awesome.
Teams of two duos.
Yeah, teams of two. Yeah, they had. You could have done a bigger team. Some of my friends also did this event, and they were on like a 4-person team. I think you could do 3 or 4-person teams also. So.
And did you do that 1 lap then rest and then 1 lap then rest or?
Yeah. We just swapped off laps. When we do the 24 hours in the Old Pueblo event, sometimes in the middle of the night we'll do some weird rotations. We'll have like 2 riders go back to back to back to back. Okay. And then another rider that likes to do 2 back-to-back laps and then switch the other 2. That way people get a little bit more sleep.
Wow.
Because if you're doing just 5-person through rotation, the sleep gets a little bit weird and you don't get quite as much. So we've figured out that that's kind of the better way to run it in the overnight hours.
And there isn't one of those things where like, have you thought about like, I'm not going to mess with your plan, but what about if you just like, somebody just sleeps all day and then gets there at like, 6 p.m. and rides all night?
I mean, some teams do that. So last year, the 24 hours in El Pueblo also has duo entries. And last year, or maybe the year before, one of the winning entries was a duo, and they're like professionals from back east somewhere. One guy did 12 laps or 11 laps starting at noon until he was done, and then the other guy picked up and did 11 laps, and then they switched off their last 2. I don't know how. They're animals, and they won. They won the division.
The loop.
That one is just 16 miles and about 1,000 feet of elevation gain in the 16 miles.
Oh my gosh.
The professionals are running just under sub-hour laps. Most of us, like mortal people, are running anywhere from like an hour 10 to an hour 25 laps. So
dang.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's one of those like I have a lot of respect for people who are professionals and the massive gap between us and to just right and to just do that. I could probably do it like maybe one time, but then I'd be shot for the rest of the event, right? Yeah. To just go out there and lay down those hour after hour after hour, very consistently. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on
that's awesome.
A good finishing spot and
Thank
on
you.
short notice.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with all that fatigue coming into it too. I mean, from your legs and everything. That's something
It's
else. Yeah.
kind of par for the course for me. I don't take rest days.
I know,
You probably should.
and we will have to talk about that ZRL rest day that you took that you helped us out for. All right, and Josh, what have you been doing, man?
Yeah, so I've been shockingly give myself a pat on the back for actually following Coach Cat's prescribed training, meaning zone 2 and or zone 3 and rest days. I've actually been listening to that for once in my life. So
yeah,
yeah, and I still hate every bit of it. I don't like zone 2. I don't like zone, sweet spot training or whatever it is. It's going to take some getting used to, but I know it's good for me and some of the longer endurance rides I plan on doing in an outdoor season. So probably for the best.
Yeah.
But it does make me like bored out of my mind every single time. But hopefully that'll get better. I don't think it will. And then did ZRL on Tuesday, which was an adventure. So
yeah, man.
What are we in? We're in B development.
Yeah, B development.
Division
B3.
Yeah, B3 or something like that.
But we've got big news about that, though. I mean, because Josh is back. He's back in ZRL, and he's on. I talked him into being on my squad here.
Hey,
this is I
saw the team roster, and I was like, oh yeah, this will be a fun group, and that's honestly the only reason why I was like, all right, yeah, I'm definitely in with this group of people. Like Dustin, you're on the team. Ashley, you're on the team.
Yeah, Smashley's on there too.
And we got Daniel and Tim and a couple other. People who like to stir the pot, my kind of group.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was like, yeah, why not? So first race back on Tuesday, and came out like really well. I mean, got like first or second in both the segments. Like the first 3 segments, both the KOM and the sprint segments, and then that's where things started to go south. So I was experiencing like some weird like heart palpitations or whatever. I don't really know how to describe it. So something was off, right? Like there's the good kind of pain, and then there's the bad kind of pain. I think you'd be wise to listen to the bad kind of pain and discomfort. So after experiencing that for like a couple minutes, something wasn't quite right with the heartbeat. Heart rate was fine, but heartbeat was just off. So stepped off the bike and was just standing there for like 5 minutes, and heart rate was still at like 170 and was not coming down. So decided to throw in the towel after that and call it good. Went to the doctor, got some tests and everything seems fine. So it might have just been a one-off event, but I've been slowly kind of just doing some zone 2, zone 3 stuff since then, just to try to isolate if, that was like a one-off thing or not. But I think the lesson that people can take away from that is like, look, it's not like, hey, my leg hurts or whatever, and push through it. Like that's fine, right? Like, oh, my arm is sore, push through it. Like, who cares? Like, that's not a big deal. But when you talk about like brain things or heart things or vital organs, it's probably best to call it quits and maybe quite literally live to fight another day.
Yes.
And that's, I think, the important takeaway that people can have from something like that. But, all in all, it didn't end up being like a big thing as far as health-wise. But
sorry, just froze for a second. Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that you're okay and everything. Sorry, my internet froze there. I'm okay though. We're here. All right. That was but that was definitely scary I know it was scary for you. Smashley and I were both there, and it was scary for all of us. I mean, you can probably hear us on the stream, like, oh, is Josh okay? Like, like the play-by-play was, we're concerned for you as our friend, and also because, like, are we going to lose these points now? Come on. No.
I know, right? No. Like that's kind of what made it, hey, if you can quit an event mid race that you're like just running the table in, I think that, hey, good on you for leaving it on the table and just stepping away. But it's a lot easier to be like, oh, hey, something hurts and I'm in last place and dropped and whatever, right? But when you're cleaning up,
but that was also your hurt too. It's not like it's not like you said. It's not like your leg or your knee. Like I can get through this.
I have a hangnail.
Which I do. I've got one here, but anyway. But well, we're glad that you're okay because we were definitely concerned and everything. And
actually, something my team set up, and I really support it. And maybe it's good to mention it on the podcast as well, because maybe other teams want to do something like that as well. But we have a huge database in case of emergency, and each team kind of has I think Dirt does it as well, but each team has one of those sheets, and the sheet is only available to the team so that not all the private data is kind of going everywhere. But it's nice that if you're noticing something's happening, that you do have somebody to call, because obviously we all live in different places, and then somebody can go check on the person to actually see if something has happened. Especially important if they're no longer on Discord or something and you really don't know what happened.
It was at one of those times where I was happy that I had my wife's phone number in my Discord profile, like under the IC in case of emergency.
I didn't even know there is a thing in there.
Yeah.
Oh, we should.
So I mean, that's not everyone's first instinct is to just be like, oh, go look at his profile and see if he has a phone number in there. Like I don't think that's everyone's first instinct, but it was kind of, while that was happening, that was kind of in the back of my mind that it's like, okay, at least I have a emergency contact listed in my profile. So,
and I was like, we were all worried and everything, but everything's okay. Everything's all right.
Moral of the story is don't be a hero when it comes to like vital organs, especially like it's Zwift racing. Like there's going to be more.
Yes. Yeah.
There's always more.
Yeah, and we Gina, we were talking about that too internally on the Josh Smashley and I race for Coalition. We were talking about that too, and like I think that's a excellent idea to have that emergency contact or someone that you can call, because we've all heard of people that have passed away because they've gone too hard, and it's just so sad, and we all get that, and they're like, I'm going for this, and but we have to stop. Yeah. So all right. Well, good. I'm glad you're here, Josh. In all the ways. Yeah. All right. And then we did get a note from James. He's traveling. So he sent us some things. He said he's off going to a home renovation exhibition, which I believe is like one of those home shows. Now, I think that has something to do with his last point that he listed here. So we'll get to that in a second. He said FRR Super 6 is back, and he says he got dizzy going around Richmond so many times. Congratulations to everybody who did the FRR Tour Watopia, which we're going to be talking about that. And he's on week 2 of his base training period, which is more training than racing with ZRL. He said so, but he's got more racing with ZRL and FRR.
Really, all that stuff is nice and all, but I just wanted to know like whether his wife is aware of.
And that's what we're coming down to. So, so I think he is at the home renovation show for his home because his last point is he still hasn't told his family about his new bike. So I think he is trying to, bank this stuff. And so, Smashley, I don't know if you noticed, he bought himself an extremely nice new bike in blue, and has hidden it at his friend's house because he hasn't told his family yet that he bought it. So,
questionable.
How would you feel about that, Smashley, if someone bought a bike and I guess, I don't know. I know the lady who I live with who smells so nice. I actually already asked her about me buying a new bike, and she had some very choice words to say.
As the person that currently owns 7 bikes. I don't think I'm the right person to ask.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, same. I know, same. Because I would buy a bike, and I've actually tried to buy my wife a new bike. You know,
I'm looking for a gravel bike right now. So
yeah, there you go.
Why not? Let's make it 8.
Yeah,
my truck
I got room in the
bike.
garage. My truck doesn't fit in the garage even when it's empty anyway. I might as well fill it with bikes.
Right. Yeah.
My track bike actually went from me buying it secondhand onto the tracks and leaving it there in a locker. I don't think Jolene found out about it for half a year.
They have a locker there for it.
But
That's awesome.
you know what? We had our own money.
Yeah.
It was a second hand. I paid about €1,000, so it wasn't too bad. But basically, we still had our own money as well. And then later on, I said, like, I bought it. I think week 2, I did track cycling. So after half a year, I said, yeah, you see, I'm going to the tracks like twice a week. So I bought myself a bike. And I was like, then I could, you know.
It's all about
you can justify it, right?
Yeah. Right,
I could justify it, yeah. Although I bought it at week 2, but she doesn't need to know.
No.
I gotta say though, it is. So my wife doesn't really cycle that much. She has her own hobbies. That's fine, but it is hard to like explain, like, for instance, why a carbon wheel set is more expensive than like vehicle tires.
Yeah.
Like
oh my gosh.
Getting like brand new everything on like a vehicle. Do I understand it? No. But will it make me go like, 1 mile an hour faster? Like, yeah, that's critically important to my happiness. So
but that's the thing. For me, that's not critically important, I think. But then I find different ways to justify a buy to myself anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's always the running joke. I'm like, whenever anyone brings up like a problem with their bike, it's just like, oh, hey, the easy solution to solve this is just buy a brand new bike.
That's true. It's
always the solution, right?
Yeah, and everything works already. So you don't have to mess around with it. Yeah.
Sorry, Dustin, we got like extremely sidetracked here, but
no, that's okay. That's okay because new bike parts are on my list of things that I'm doing. I finally got to the point where I'm done the research and everything for my gravel monster, my Ritchie P29, which is going to be a G29. Oh man, it's so awesome. I cannot wait to every time I look at it, I'm like, I just want to go ride my bike. I want to go outside and ride this bike. I don't want to do anything else. But of course we have snow. It's -3 Fahrenheit right now, and it's freezing, and I'm staying inside. So, but oh my gosh, I look at this bike and I've done the things where I put it down and I'm just like riding it in the basement a little bit. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm going with Dior for the shifting in the back. I'm going to keep the Surly corner bar with the Dior shifting, and I'm still I'm in talks with the bike shop. We're going through prices and seeing if 1x11 would be better or 1x12 with the gearing in the front, because I think I can only get like a 38 in the front, either a 38 or a 40 in the front, and so I'm worried about. We're trying to figure out what the best range is. So, but parts are going to be ordered this
40,
week.
42 chain ring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're using it as a gravel bike, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a 1x.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
But if I have 12
in
the back,
that's a bit aggressive if you're using it for a mountain bike.
Oh yeah. No, it's nothing, but it's going to be so fast. But it'll have like a 40 in the back, like I think 40 or 46 in the back. So that's like it's more than 1-to-1. I think I can climb pretty much anything out here, and if not, then I'll walk. But so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But so I've been doing. I've been just dreaming about this bike, and like that's one thing I definitely will say that I've purchased bikes in the winter before, and this always happens to me. But this is a bike I already have, and I still just want to ride it all the time. But anyway, I've also been trying to limit my sugar, which has been a hard thing for me because Twizzler Poland peels are one of my favorite things in the world, and so that's been really tough. And I had my first stroopwafel today that I haven't had one. This is my first stroopwafel of the year today. This is the 18th. So I've been doing okay.
Well,
yeah, it's been hard. So
still, you've had
Gina
more
can give
this
us
year
the,
than I have. So
yeah.
I was gonna
I've had
say,
none
Gina,
this year.
Oh man. Yeah.
Are you even Dutch?
Yeah. No, I'm
Yep.
not. I'm not.
My problem is with cheese.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
love
I can't.
cheese.
I wish I could eat cheese. If I could, I would. I can't metabolize it, so it's just yeah, it's a little maybe too much information. But yeah, nobody wants to be around me when I have that. But yeah, so anyway, too much information, I think. But I will say that we had ZRL on Tuesday night, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, and that was rough. But the next night we had a ladder race, and my recovery was in the red and everything. I had a cup of coffee that morning, but I was just dragging. So at lunch, I went to the local gas station and got a 30-ounce, fountain pop of Dr. Pepper with one shot of cherry in it. Oh, it was amazing. And I know I've been limiting my sugar, but that was what I needed. And then our team won ATP Coalition Vexus went we won against ATP Adams. So yeah, that was awesome. And that was it was over the leg snapper and everything, the Innsbruck ring. We did 2 times around the leg snapper.
1-minute power test.
I know. Mm-hmm. So we went up the leg snapper, and the first time we were doing okay. We were all just together, and the group was together, and it was fine. And then on the second time around, we decided to just go for it, and we got to the top. Bryce P and our team, he was over the top first, and they had ATP Adams had, I think, 1 or 2 people up there, and we got over the leg snapper, and thankfully everything, all the power-ups were arrow. So I got to the leg snapper, hit my arrow, and then I went against my best judgment and just kept on pedaling very fast. Went down the hill with the arrow. I was able to catch up to Bryce, and then he and I were able to catch up to the first couple people, past them, and then hit my arrow again, and then just kept on going and trying to chain my arrows as much as we could. And we had plenty of room on everybody, but I still kept on pushing. But I could have done it without Bryce, so shout out to Bryce because he had to come to the front and give me 30 seconds. All I needed was 30 seconds, and I went back to the front and then kept on going. And then, of course, he beat me at the sprint at the end, which was fine. I was just if that race had been 200 meters more, I would have blown up, I think. That was all I had. That was it. And I wondered if it was because of that Dr. Pepper that made me get second. I don't know.
You don't need to wonder. It was.
Yeah, it had to have been because that caffeine.
It was.
I think it's also because you had been limiting sugar, so now the sugar
true.
actually did something to your body, right? So
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
true.
true.
I do trust Gina, your assessment on this, because you seem to be a lot more locked in with nutrition and things like that. And
right.
Meanwhile, Dustin and I are over here
unless you give me a bar of chocolate, because that's gone basically an hour after I get
it. Oh man,
but sugar I'm pretty okay with.
Yeah. Oh man, it was awesome. It felt good to get the team win, for sure, and it felt good to get second. And then all those PRs that show up on Strava, and I know they're kind of whatever, but it's just that made me feel good. So I was happy for that. So yeah. I think you're right though. The sugar is definitely. I'm somebody that's affected by lots of things, little things easily. It seems caffeine and whatever. I've already had 2 cups of coffee today, which is too much, but it's gonna be great.
Imagine if you can limit your caffeine as well and do then caffeine and sugar before a race. Oh my God, you're gonna fly.
Yeah. I'll be up all night though. That's the problem. We race at 6:30 p.m. and that's I have a hard enough time trying to get to sleep because
I feel like that's a problem. When I knew my caffeine intake was a problem, it was all right, I can have a cup of coffee before bed and then go to sleep and it's fine.
Oh man, I can't do that.
All right, I think it's probably about time to cut back a little. So now I just have a 1 20-ounce thing, which I guess is still 2.5 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah,
that's
all right,
actually not that bad though. A cup of coffee is 65 milligrams of caffeine or something like that, and I take pre-workout or an energy drink usually first thing in the morning, and that's 250 to 300 milligrams of caffeine right off the bat. But I don't really have much more than that during a day. I'm not chugging Cokes all day long or anything like that. So.
Yeah, I would if I could, but it's so good.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so that brings us on to some of our main talking points here, because we have been talking about some some nutrition and balancing of things, and we need to talk about Gina and her team. And I mean, Gina, the Tour de Boudicca, this is incredible. The people, we're going to leave a link to Gina's, Gina's YouTube link is going to be at the bottom of this other thing. You got to check it out. I've watched some of this, and like my favorite is the end of the QOM where you're going up. Well, first off, the Castle QOM, I have this in there. That is horrible. Yeah, I don't like that one. That is the worst one on Zwift, I think, for me, because it's just the drag. It's just draggy, and I know there's other ones.
For me, it's not the castle. It's the temple that actually comes after.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it went castle, then temple. But I find like the temple easier. Anyway, but go ahead, Gina. What was it like being? You were in the leader's jersey. Come on.
Yeah. So Tour de Boudicca is like the small version of FRR, I would say. Like it's 3 days of racing, only a weekend. I talked to my coach. I really wanted to do FRR, and I also really want to do the one in February, but I didn't get the go-ahead. I get it. I'm struggling with long COVID. I can feel okay right now, but if I push it too far, I know what will happen. And I think she was absolutely correct, because after the 3 days of Boudicca, I have to say I was done for, and I needed like a good weeks of rest. Even though I also did ZRL TTT, I think was after that.
Yep.
And I actually performed really well. But after that, I really needed to tone it down a little bit to get the body back in balance. But I didn't expect what was happening, because day 1 and day 2 were very sprinty. Day 2 were even mini races, and like each race you could get the 100 points at the finish. And I got third. And then on day 2, I got first. And then another second. And then another first. And I was like, what the heck is happening? Like, what's happening? I thought I'd lost my sprint. And then I was just so hyped up. So I got to start day 3 in the leader's jersey, which was pretty cool. The only thing was it felt like an imposter syndrome. Like, is that really me? Like,
yeah.
It wasn't the normal jersey I was wearing and wearing all the time, so I didn't recognize myself really. But it was so cool. And then my team also knowing what a year I've had, like I've talked about it on the podcast as well, with the long COVID, having to step away even from racing for a while. They were all like, okay, we're going to go full in, because we're basically, you've gotten the team so much points, and then some of my other mates as well, that we can basically lose some points and get you to the leader's jersey and still win the team competition. So they were kind of like making a front around me, because they really wanted me to survive those hills. Which I almost didn't, but in the end I did. So Larissa and I think Verona actually brought me back to the front group, and the front group also really, really eased off after the temple, which was very helpful for me. I got back in, I was fighting with one more, and excuse my language at the end of the stream, because it was a 2-up sprint. My legs were already burning.
Yeah.
And we were kind of trying to, because Louise Deek, who I was fighting with, she actually seemed to be falling out of the group a little bit. We don't know what happened there, so I told my teammates to push it. And then Louise Deek basically was on our wheel all of a sudden. So unfortunately, that plan didn't work out. But I shot an arrow already, and Louise came from the back, so she won that. And I had to sprint with everything I had, legs burning. My RPM wasn't going up anymore, and she won it. And I knew that we were super close. I knew we were super close. So I really didn't know if I got it or not. So I was kind of mad at myself that I told the team to go and I'd shot an arrow already. I should have just been on her wheel fighting directly with her. Anyways, in the end, after that, I was laying in my bath, trying to recover as best as I could with my protein shake already. And I opened it up and I started going through Zwift Power and like adding up all of her times and seeing I got it by, what was it, 0.02 seconds?
Oh my
was
gosh.
my lead in the end.
Oh my gosh.
That was so close. 0.02 something. It was nothing. It really was nothing.
Yeah.
But I just did enough to keep the jersey and win.
Super crazy.
It was
That's
super
so
crazy,
close.
but it was so cool to just see that I can still sprint. And now that my base is kind of back up, I also have enough left in the tank to sprint. So I love that. And it was very exciting and very cool also to see the team come together and support each other and get the team win as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, Gina. Yeah, if people who haven't seen that, yeah, it's definitely worth it just to skip to the end and listen to Gina. Because I was watching that, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just absolutely impressive. Congratulations, Gina. Yeah, you earned it. You deserve it. Yeah, it was awesome. That was so cool. Yeah, because I when I was watching, when I was jumping around though about the jerseys, I'm like, that's not Gina's jersey. Like, wait, that's Gina. She's in the yellow jersey. That's awesome.
I was in the Queen Bee jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, and so now we're gonna talk about fueling and everything and balance and everything too in a second, because I want to hear from Josh and also from Smashley here, because the reason we have them both on here is because they both won the FRR green jersey for the Tour of Watopia, which is no small feat at all. So So first off, let's and Josh, I think you did a supercut already of yours, right, of all your videos and stuff like that. So
yeah.
You posted that, and it's with some great music on there too. By the way, that's awesome. But but Smashley, can you talk through some of how you went through and how you attacked some of these? How did you plan for such a long stage race to do just to get the green jersey? I guess, does that make sense? Yeah. What was your strategy?
Carbs. A lot of carbs. So I'm someone who tracks my macros like every day. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty in tune with what it takes for my normal like training. But I knew, because I did the Tour of Britannia as well, I knew this one I needed to up my carb intake, that I was not quite fueled properly for the last one. So I upped my carb intake from like the 290-ish I do every day to like 450-ish a day. Wow. And I really upped the fuel that I was taking in on the bike, because some of these stages are super long. Like we had the first stage was like 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2 hours and 7 minutes or something like that. Yeah, super long. You have to be intaking fuel on the bike. So I had high carb mix in a bottle. Plus I made sure that I ate carbs before I got on the bike. As well, and then making sure that I fueled properly after, because you're also fueling for the next day of racing, right? And so by the end of every day, I was having to have a double bowl of cereal before bed to cram in the extra carbs that I needed, because I hadn't hit it, because I don't normally eat 500 grams of carbs in a day. It's like, oh shoot, I'm only at 400. I need some more. So the bowl of cereal was what sounded good, because I was already super full. So, wow. And I think that made a lot of difference in being able to repeatedly attack the sprints, right? Because like the last stage, Josh, those sprints were so long. They were all like 30-second efforts, right? It was incredible.
4 sprints of like 30 seconds plus was not the play.
Yeah. Right. And you're already like, you're mentally thinking about doing those 4 sprints and then epic KOM and radio tower KOM. Like those are in the back of your mind as you're doing these anyway. At least they were in mind.
And you also had the virtual broom wagon too, which was if you didn't hit a certain time, right? They were gonna did it take away your points, or did it just cut them?
I'm salty about BBW.
Did it cut your points though, or did it take your points if you missed it?
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, you lost like 20 points or something,
right?
I
lost 20 points for getting 7 seconds over the VBW and the ITT after doing like 98% of my FTP.
Oh man!
So for the whole race. So
wow.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a salty moment, but
you still won.
I was also the one who I can't be too mad, because I was literally the one who was advocating for like, hey, me as someone who's going for a green jersey, like what's preventing me from just poking around at like 1 watt a kilo, like on these ITTs? Like I should have to, like people should have to work. But then he made the cut like super aggressive.
Super aggressive. Even he said it's aggressive, and he's changing it to 15 for next time.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine though, because I mean, it's doable. It's just like, I mean,
it had the desired effect.
It did have the desired effect, but I was a little salty about missing it by 7 seconds.
Lucky for you, most of the sprinters did, I think.
I'm looking at the results right now. Everyone in the top 5 except one person got broom wagon on that one stage. So,
wow. And I mean, that's still incredible how many points you guys were getting each stage and everything, though, too, both of you. Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. And how did you like you're talking about with still having to do the radio tower and everything too? I mean, were you worried about people taking points away from you in the sprints? I guess that's like people that weren't in the sprint category, like that were just trying to target the sprints. Excuse me, I'm not talking that well, I guess. I don't know. Do you know what I mean, Smashley? Like just like some rando person.
Kind of. I had kind of been watching the leaderboards to see who might in my category. There was only like actually 6 of us in my category that finished the tour.
Okay.
So I knew I only had these 6 competitors, and only a couple of them had been consistently going for the sprint segment. So I kind of had an idea where it would be, where I would land on that. But the one person I was going back and forth with for the jersey, and in the 8th stage, she actually had the jersey going into the 8th stage. She had it from me.
Wow.
I knew that was the person that I had to beat. We had consistently been back and forth on who was winning sprints the entire time. I mean, very close together all the time. Like she would win one and I would get the next one, which was super cool, super cool. Well, she had gone before me on that 8th stage, so I knew what times I had to target to beat her. So that I had it written down on a piece of paper in here, and that was like in the back of my mind the entire time, is you just have to beat Katie. You just have to beat Katie.
Oh man.
May I ask which category you're in? Because I was looking at going for February, but with my Tour de Boudicca wins, I've now become a cap, and I'm scared of doing FRR as a cap.
I was in Dragon Pepper DRA, so one right below cap.
Yeah.
And I a couple of weeks before, I flew a little too close to the sun in FRR in the infamous Everything Bagel course, and netted myself up into Ruby Women's by 1 point. And I had since fallen off, but it was still in my 30-day. And so I had to compete as a DRA instead of a CRP, which actually turned out to be fine. It actually turned out to be like perfectly fine. I actually liked being in that pen. It was great. It was super appropriate for me. No complaints there. But we actually, the DRA and CAP women are in the same pen C. So
okay, wow. And Josh, what category did you race? GHT, right?
Yeah, GHT. So Sapphire mixed. And it is interesting because like these tours, for someone who's like, I have the sprint firepower, obviously, but like the long power, I am nowhere near like remotely competitive to any of these people. Like pushing 3.3 watts a kilo for an hour is like like a struggle for me. And like these people, like like I said, the person who won the ITT, who set the virtual broom wagon time, averaged 4.5 watts a kilo for like 46 minutes or something. So like that's even if I was going for GC just to do something different, like above the bottom 20th percentile would be like a victory for me. So it was kind of a grind to just like have someone and find a group to race with, like in between doing the sprint. and as always, like some of this comes down to a little bit of luck too, right? Like you can't I think we had, I don't really know how many GHT finishers, like but it definitely comes down to a little bit of luck as well. I won the last sprint just because it wasn't because of sprint power, I can tell you that much, because my legs were toast, but because the whole peloton strung out so far that I had draft the entire time. I was just able to slingshot and get first place and the 3 bonus points I needed to win.
Oh man.
So a little bit of luck comes into play with some of these. Stuff will go wrong, like you'll get caught out, not have a draft, or get dropped or something like that. But
that was why Katie had the jersey from me, because in the second stage, coming over the Manhattan Sprint the second time, I completely cracked off the back of the pack. And that last sprint segment is at the top of that climb. I had no draft and I was completely cracked. And so I ended up in like last place for that particular one sprint segment. And I spent the whole rest of the tour trying to make up for it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And like I know when the initial results came out too of my race, like the guy who I was competing with in second, he was above me by a couple of points, but the later pens had enough people who finished in between us to like widen the gap enough that like won by 3 points. So again, some luck involved with this, but
oh my gosh, these are all close finishes, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
0.02 seconds for Gina. Just a few points here. Both and both. That's
I
incredible.
think what was funny to like when I made that like green all green segments video, it's like, hey, the first sprints I'm like pushing 14.5 watts a kilo or something like that for the first one, and then like by the end it's like 7 is like 7 is a victory.
Yeah. And then coming in and trying to do, and then getting all those points during ZRL too, man. Yeah, you're definitely tired.
And Ashley, your tour was probably a bit more challenging because you were also competitive in like the other areas as well, not just.
Well, I was competitive in the polka to start with because the first few stages had the KOMs were very sprinty, short KOMs, which was great for me. But as soon as we got into the longer, the Volcano, the Epic, Titans Grove even, I started falling down the standings because I just can't compete with, the 50 kilogram, 55 kilogram. That's not me. I just can't compete. So I started falling down the standings, but I was doing okay in combined. I think I ended up in like second in the combined jersey because I had enough sprint points and I still did okay enough on most of the KOMs to be okay there. But
so I think point being though, like you had to pay a lot more attention, I think, to like nutrition and just overall race dynamics and strategy than I did. So
yeah, I definitely
I think you had it harder than I did.
I definitely picked some time slots, particularly because the pen sizes were more advantageous for me with a bigger pack size to sprint through. It did kind of screw me a little bit on Saturday and Sunday for GC because I had Allison in my pen from Cryogen, and she was up in the front pack every time, and she ended up significantly contributing to my EGAP. But I wasn't really trying to go for GC anyway, so it was okay.
Is that the person who blew by me and blew by?
Yes.
Yeah. So she blew
Allison
by both
Cryogen.
me and Andre, who's an Emerald mixed.
I think this also kind of has to do with something that we've discussed before, that We love the Swift Racing app. We love the velo scoring, but it's not particularly good for these longer stages. As much of them are set by ladder races, scratch races from ZRL, maybe some other stuff, but FRR is just a league in its own, right? So I'm now a diamond lady because I can sprint and finish, and I did a couple of mini races and did really well, but I could never climb with the diamond ladies.
Yeah. And I'm the same way with that. And then I kind of get a little bit of I think my velo gets a little bit depressed sometimes because of ladder in particular, because I'm on a mixed ladder team. And so if we get down to the bunch sprint, even though I got the green jersey in FRR against the women, I have a hard time in a bunch sprint against a mixed field. I just don't have the raw watts. I can I can do 5 second for 10 watts a kilo, but that's only 700 watts for me. And I just can't compete against the people like Josh who can lay down these 14 watt a kilo sprint. I just can't do it. So I always lose, and then I lose velo. So
yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. 14 watts. Come on, man. I think I saw.
I wish it was more. I still can't hit. My all-time 5 second though is still not 1,000.
so that's still incredible, man. So when we're talking about nutrition, before we go on to nutrition, Smashley, what's your go-to late night cereal?
The one I happened to have at that time was the Special K Chocolatey Delight. I like that one and the red berries, but also I really like Frosted Mini Wheats. So I think I bought those the last time I was at the store.
Special K, those are cornflakes, right, or something? I haven't had those.
Yeah, basically, and I like the strawberry one with the freeze dried strawberries in it. I happen to have the one that had the little chocolate bits in it this time.
It's not quite as sugary as.
Not quite. Yeah. That's why it had to be a double bowl, not a single bowl.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember you used to be able to buy those like tiny boxes of cereal whenever we go on a trip, like my family would buy those, and like there was always like Special K, and like whoever had to eat the Special K is like, oh, it's the last one, and like you try it and like, oh man,
really, that's my favorite one.
It's
that
adult
was
cereal, I guess.
That was me when I was younger, and then now Special K tastes good. Hits the spot.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Feels like I need to sip coffee and open a newspaper while I have
it. And talk about stocks or something. I'm on the other side, man. I'll take Lucky Charms any day. Gina, do you have Lucky Charms over there? Do you guys have those?
Oh, you're talking cereal to me. I'm a celiac, so I can't have any of the normal cereal. So I zoned out for a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. This is supposedly gluten-free.
But no, I don't think we have it. I don't think we have it.
Well, it's like a frosted type cereal, and anyway, it's got these little marshmallows in it that are pretty amazing. I don't know what they're made out of, but they're amazing. But
See,
I can't.
Two bowls of marshmallows, I could do.
Yeah. They sell just the marshmallows. I remember I was in the store once, and it was a bag of just the Lucky Charm marshmallows, and they were like $20. So we didn't buy them. But my daughter's like, "Can we get these?" I'm like, "Yes." And then I looked at the price, like, "No, we can't." So just pick them out of the cereal. Anyway, but so speaking of nutrition, though, and you've already alluded a little bit to this. Smashy was talking about this, like trying to get this on. Fueling for the next day's race already. And so for all of you, since I can never survive any of these things, how are you all balancing, just like, how are your meals changing when you're during tours, even, a 1 day, 2 days, 3 days tour, whatever, 5-day tour? I mean, like, do you notice anything that's changing or more calories?
I can start by setting the bar low before Smashley and Gina talk about like what you actually should do, because I do nothing different. I still eat like garbage and like pizza or whatever else.
Pizza's good though. It's got a lot of carbs in it. Yeah.
Like, look, this is it. You expect to fade a little bit during the course of like a really long tour. Like, let's be honest, like you're putting a lot of fatigue in. I expect that sprint legs are not going to be there towards the end, but not like half of what you put out like the first stage, and that was probably attributable to not doing well with nutrition, fueling, etc. Like I feel fine like on the bike, like taking in carbs like during the ride and immediately before and stuff like that. But I'm nowhere near the level of like, like what Ashley you're doing, which is probably a lot smarter.
Yeah. I mean, carbs before, carbs on the bike, carbs and protein after. I tended to ride midday-ish most of the time. I think a couple of stages I did do the early morning shift just to ride with Brian and Randy over the weekend, the first weekend. And then kind of just try to do normal meals for after lunch and dinner, but making sure I had lots of carbs and that I was also adequately intaking protein. I do a lot of lifting at the gym also, so I'm super like got to get my protein in every single day just to make sure that because I don't want to have muscle loss because of this. I already took the week off from the gym just to do tour because I knew it was going to be too much to try to do both.
Wow.
But I still wanted to get that protein in every day. So I think that is kind of where I was at.
Wow.
I think
so
for me,
moral of the story, don't listen to me. Listen to...
Yeah.
For me, it depends a lot on which time I'm racing. So Boudicca, obviously, I didn't have a choice, so I was riding late. And what I would actually do is what you would normally have for dinner, I would actually have for lunch because I didn't want to have the big meal, like the heavy meal of the day, 2 hours before my racing. So I actually switched out a little bit of my normal thing. But same. Normally, I also track, by the way. I don't do it to be super, like I have to have this amount, but I just kind of want to see what I'm getting into my body. Am I doing it correctly? Am I getting enough protein in? Yes or no? Am I getting it? Just wanted to make sure that I don't underfuel because that's something that I figured out I was doing and that was actually not fueling my rides correctly. And then I would also get the cravings in the evening, like the bad stuff, the sugary stuff that I really want. And the reason for that was actually underfueling. So that's why I started tracking, and it really works for me. I don't care about the 200 kilocalories more or less that I have on a day, as long as I kind of get the protein in, and that's the most important part when I'm building right now. But then indeed, when racing, I think it's also important to keep looking at the carbs and to actually do that and think about when am I racing, what kind of food do I actually race well on, because I also know that, for instance, I love myself a goulash, but it's not something I should eat on race day because it has tomatoes, paprika, bell peppers, onion and stuff in it, and I won't race as well. And I can better do clean on a racing day, so just rice, chicken, broccoli or whatever. That to me, my body handles that better if I know I have an effort coming up later in the day. And then indeed, if I race in the evening, get the heavier meal earlier on the day and then have the race. Also for ZRL, we're 7:15 my time. I have my dinner at lunch, and then when I come home, I just top it off with something that's a little bit more high carb, and can even just be as easy as a toasty with curry, but that I ride well on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because I try and eat a big meal for lunch on the days that we're racing. And Dr. Pepper, yeah, but on the days that we're racing, just because it's for that same reason. Because I struggle so much with eating right before a race, or even eating on the bike, even drinking on the bike sometimes is hard. So I have like an energy drink or something that's got carbs and stuff in it while I'm riding, but it's sometimes hard for me to just remember to do it, I guess. I mean, there's lots of times where whoever's running the squad will say, "Don't forget to drink," and like, "Oh yeah, I got to drink," stuff. So I don't know. I got to get better at that. Well, this is interesting.
For
what about for
squad, I'm usually that person who reminds people to drink, and I wanted to say something about the carbs in the drink. I think for me that's been a game changer. Gravel racing actually, and then also multi-day stages. Is something that I actually love most. I think the gravel race I loved most was the 3-day race in Sweden. And when you're bouncing around on the bike and then you got to follow wheels and you're going up or down, and that's basically it's so much easier to have your carbs in your drink than it is to actually take it. Still, when you're on a flat bit of road or you're on the road for a little bit, you still try to get like the extra gel in. But you can train your gut quite a bit, and you can even go higher in the carbs in the drink if that's easier for you than having to have nutrition.
And coach, oh, go ahead.
The 10-hour race that I did yesterday, the mountain bike race, I did 5 laps. I did track everything just because I wanted to see where I landed on as far as nutrition on the bike. During the whole 10 hours, I intook about 300 grams of carbs just in liquid calories on the bike during laps, or frankly, before and after, mostly because it's hard to drink on a mountain bike right anyway, but I did have them in the bottle. And then about another 350 grams of carbs in between laps in the form of real food. So I was about half and half liquid carbs to real food.
Wow.
Yeah. And for intake timing, I was on the Coach Cat ride yesterday, and all of their coaches were kind of reiterating the point that like timing doesn't necessarily matter too much, and studies back this where like, hey, if you're shooting for X amount of carbs an hour, right, it doesn't necessarily matter if you take all of the 100% of those at minute 1 or disperse those out through various points of time throughout that singular hour, as long as you are hitting that target in that hour time frame. The science supposedly kind of backs that it doesn't really, it's kind of a moot point. So, obviously with outdoor rides, there's a bit more risk at times with like taking your hands off the handlebars, or like you're in a sketchy pack that you don't want to not pay attention to. It's a lot easier on Zwift to get nutrition intake, but I think that's a good note for that was a good learning experience for me, or I did not know that. So good to know.
That's good. Well, then how about
definitely one of the things that I still want to note, when I was doing FRR, one thing that I used to do a lot is, I think the week before or the weeks before, I would do a lot of meal prepping for meals that I can actually put in the freezer. And then in the evening, all I had to do was take one out. And I also, put the amount of chicken or the amount of food in that I would need for race day. So I'd really prep them for FRR. And I had to work at the same time during the day. So it was just, it was so much easier to think about fueling before the week already and not during the week. So have your stuff ready to go, know what you would likely need, get everything also carb-wise at home that you would like to snack on in the evening, if that's cereal, if that's licorice, because that's what I usually go for. Get it at home, so you have the stuff at home to do it all correctly and not have to think about it last minute.
They're all good tips. And then how about
clear your schedule of like any other stuff, like no home improvement projects, no none of that. So
because that's what we're going to talk about, some life in your family, like, or life and work and everything. Because I was planning on doing the tour, and I was like, I had everything set up. I was only going to miss one stage, but then work got in the way. I ended up having to do more meetings after work, so I ended up missing like a couple stages, and it was just like I only did like 2 out of the 8 stages. I think that was it. So I tried to help the team, but how are you balancing life and work and everything? Is it just like your family just doesn't get to see you, or if they can call you, you're going to be on your bike, or
lock myself in the basement and don't come out? No,
it's gotten a lot easier now that I'm single again. Sure, honestly. Yeah. My friends just don't see me for a week, but they also know that I do crazy shit on the bike. So just tell them, I have a week of crazy shit on the bike. Next week, I'm all yours again.
Yep.
All my riding friends always text me, are you coming out to ride this? No, it's FRR week. Don't talk to me. I'm on the Swift bike and I'm not coming outside.
Yeah.
Kind of like the cycling bubble understands, right?
Yes.
So the cycling bubble understands.
They do get it. Yeah.
Yeah, they get it for sure. That's a good point.
I'm just super fortunate. I have a really flexible job that I can kind of set my own schedule, and so I had already looked ahead to that week and knew FRR was that week, and I put any meetings that I had to have kind of off times where I knew I wasn't going to be trying to ride. And then I didn't book myself any like events or anything for that week. For the most part, I have pretty decent control over that. There's a few things that sometimes I have to do and I can't get around that, but I got fortunate that that was not that week. Everybody was just getting back from Christmas as well. So everybody else was like kind of looking for a breather week to like, do their planning for next year anyway. So it worked out super well for me.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you guys for doing all your tours and for everybody completing the FRR tours, the Virtue Slow, Super Six, everything, Tour de Boudicca, the Warrior Games, everything. I mean, it's just incredible. So good job to you guys and to everybody. And now we should pivot here real quick, and I know we're getting long in the episode here, but let's just talk real quickly about ZRL coming up. Countryside Tour. Who's looking forward to this? We get to go back to McCurry Islands and go up the Temple KOM there, Gina. Are you excited for that?
Nope.
No, but it's that's the only real climb on that one, isn't it? I think that's it. Just the
but we get to do it.
It's two and three times. Like
yes,
two
3
for
times,
TND
right.
and 3 times for BNA. So 3 times.
And I would like to point out that I'm a C rider racing B just so I can race with Josh and Smashley. So nothing should really be expected of me, and I'm fine with that. So, but Gina, you're racing B as well, right? So
Yeah, I'm racing B as well. I'm with my ladies. It's actually pretty cool that this is the first round that we've been able to field a B and a C team. So that's really nice. Dutch ladies or Dutch speaking ladies, if you're still looking for a team, we're kind of short. So just hit me up. I'm happy to set you up. But the thing is, we are a local team. We also meet over summer and stuff. So we are looking for Dutch riders or Dutch speaking riders in any way. But yeah, it's been fun. Like it's been good. We're like I said, really having trouble fielding a full team. I was on a bad day last week, and I'm trying to do everything correct this week. But you know, that's a thing on a team. You have good days, you have bad days, and yeah, no, it's going. We're competing. We're highly competitive in Division 1 Men's B. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And what time is that you race at so we can advertise more for your team? Or maybe you should do it in go ahead and do it in Dutch, so then we want to, if you
you want to hear me speak Dutch? Yeah.
Let's see.
Dus we rijden om 7:15 s'avonds. En als je zin hebt om mee te rijden, dan stuur je me gewoon een berichtje.
Yep. So contact Gina if you're interested.
Honestly, that's just what I said. So perfect. You know Dutch?
Yeah. See, I could be on the team. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh man. So that's gonna be great. So yeah, and this is gonna be something else, I think. But what about for bike choice? Because there is that long draggy climb that is all dirt. So are we thinking gravel wheels or anything or? No,
I'm not
just
going
all
gravel.
rounder.
I'm not going gravel.
I'm also not going gravel.
I see some chatter about bike swap, but I don't think I'm down for that either. It just takes I think it takes too long.
Yeah.
You have to come to a complete stop, you burn a match, and then what do you do when you come back around to the tarmac again? Do you swap back and lose that time again? Like I don't think that's the move, at least not for me. I think it's gonna be tarmac and probably the MV 4.5 Pros, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm going exact same.
Same.
Yeah. I think you'll have to be mindful about other people who are on gravel bikes, though. That just don't switch, that are on it to begin with. Because like the only time that I can think of, I mean, obviously, like I know Zwift Insider's done like the time tests and everything like that, and tarmac is still the fastest all around, but like you can get a 30-second gap on the climb if you're on a gravel bike and have started on one. So if the pace is, I think my point is, if the pace is pretty pedestrian up until the climb, someone can get a pretty big gap. And obviously if they have teammates with them, then that can be something to monitor. But generally speaking, it's probably not something to worry about. I would also just be on tarmac too.
Yeah. I think that climb 3 times is going to be the deciding factor in this, and it's going to be how well do you climb?
Yeah.
Well,
for me,
I was
poorly.
I was 4th to last time, so I wasn't last, which is that's good. But that was pretty tough, and I think what I will do is if I am way at the back and by myself, then I will switch. But because why not, right? Especially on the last lap. But I hope to not be there, and my goal is to get back up into B properly. But and I will probably, but after the last race. But that's just how it goes. But
Temple's a good one for setting a Z map.
It is,
and absolutely.
I've done.
Pop you back up into B.
Yep. That's probably what'll happen. So
I believe in you.
Oh man, yeah. Well, thanks, because I can't stop myself on those climbs. I don't know. I can't. Every time I try and sag climb, like where I'm just like stay in the wheels and then attack. Like I'm getting better at it, but I have just had such a hard time of just like, not going for it all in. But yeah. I don't know what my deal is, but one of these days, but I'll get it. But anyway, well, this brings us to our point here. I mean, we got the strategy that's going to be fun. Just everybody go hard, I think, probably. Yeah. Follow the wheels. But well, thank you, everybody, for coming on here, for Smashley and for Gina and for Josh. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Before we close, though, anybody have any big shout-outs they want to send out? Anything? Smashy, you want to start off with some shout-outs? You want to shout out to the Gummy Cluster nerd, or the nerd Gummy Cluster person, sorry. Daniel.
Oh, like, these are
Yay! Got some right
but
there.
These are still... You just don't go right here.
The Sour Patch Kids are those watermelon flavor? What are those? They're just
these are fully just watermelon, nothing else.
Oh my gosh!
So.
Oh man, only watermelon? You don't get palate fatigue?
I mean, I like the other ones too, but watermelon is my favorite. So when I saw the bag of just watermelon, the giant size family bag, of course I wanted it.
Family bag of Sour Patch Kids. I like it. I like it. Oh man, I always used to when I was like living by myself and everything, and I always felt like incredulous buying just the family size of Cheez-Its and everything, because like the lady checking me out at the checkout or whatever, not lady, person, whatever, doesn't matter, would always be like, yeah, you're gonna eat all these on the ride home, aren't you? Yes, I am. Yes. That's what happens when you live 20 minutes from the grocery store. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, well. Yeah, well, I've got to give a shout out to Vexus and give a shout out to Epiphaby there, all over our team there. Yeah. We're gonna be this is gonna be something else. So yeah, people better watch out, I guess, right? So
I've got to do another shout out to Mimsy then, who is always very comfortably heating my lap, after big races.
Oh man, yeah, that's got to feel nice. Yeah. What does your cat do while you're? Does your cat stay around the trainer at all, or?
Stare judgmentally at you.
Sometimes, most of the time, she's in the same room, and then she lays on the same spot that she's laying in right now. I once tried to get her on my stream, so get her closer to the bike, but she didn't like the feel of the wind of the fans.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So usually she's here, or sometimes she goes back to the couch or to one of her other sleeping spots on the scratching poles.
My dog finally she's a puppy still, and she finally has like I'm trusting her now to like she'll come downstairs and she'll like look at me, wonder what the heck I'm doing, and then go like chew a toy or something. But in the past she's like come down and like wonder what the heck I'm doing, and then just start destroying things, because like you're not paying attention to me. But she's finally getting to that point, so I'm super happy about that. And we haven't heard from her at all. I'm sure she'll be barking here any second now. There's going to be a squirrel or something outside. Squirrel. All right. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, and thank you to everyone listening this week and every week. Please be sure to check us out on the Discord server, and you can send us any recipes or anything like that you would like. Send us an email at watopianweekly@gmail.com. Someone on staff will get with you probably 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Thank you all again, everyone, and you know what? We'll see you in Watopia. Woo! All right.